The Delaware Canal Towpath is part of the larger D&L Trail.
It's a great honor to have been named PA's 2022 Trail of the Year for the Delaware Canal Towpath. It's one of the last remaining canals that's capable of being fully watered over its entire length. It has several of its original structures intact. That's the one we're standing on, which is the Thompson-Neely Camelback Bridge. It's one of the 6 remaining bridges of its type left.
The D&L Trail is currently over 140 miles. A primary goal of the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor is to protect the history, and we want to protect that so people can see it and experience it and read about it through signs on the trail.
It's a great place to go hiking. It's a great place to come and walk your dog. You can bicycle the entire length of the canal. There are also points of access where you can put in a canoe or kayak and kayak along the canal. As you can see from our surroundings, it's a beautiful setting here. It definitely does have an historic significance.
The Delaware Canal came about in the late 1820s. 1827, 1828 was the start of construction, completed in 1832. It was built as a water highway to bring coal from the anthracite region of Pennsylvania up around Easton, all the way south down to Bristol, and then to the Port of Philadelphia. The Delaware Canal is 58.9 miles, but it took 2.5 weeks to travel the distance from Easton to Bristol and back in one trip. The canal was built by local farmers and local people all along the way who hand dug the canal under direction from the canal engineers. So we're at Lock 11, and there are 23 locks, and they traverse the 165 feet of elevation from Easton to Bristol. And each lock was occupied by a lock tender.
I have some interesting things inside my lock tender's house. Would you like to come on in and see? Come on in. Our canal dates back from 1832. Back in those days, you needed someone to physically open and close the gates. You needed a lock tender. Very important job. You got the gig, you got the home to live in. So this is the home for the lock tender for lock number 11. The lock tender would live here year-round, and the barge could come almost at any time. But the official work day was 4 in the morning till 10 at night, 6 days a week. Everyone had Sunday off and the winter months. This is a conch shell. This was the state-of-the-art canal horn. So the guys on the barge, as they were approaching the lock tender's house, maybe a quarter mile out, someone would blow into a shell like this. The way the barge was designed, it's very narrow, 10.5 feet across, but very long, 87.5 feet long. So it wasn't much strain for the mules to be pulling the barges full of coal.
There are some wonderful stories of boatmen that were recorded in part of an oral history, and they were largely locals that worked for a long time on the canal.
Some would drive their mules fairly fast, others would take it a little on the easy side, some in between. The faster they moved, the more money they made.
I always watered my mules at good places and fed them and put the basket on. If they put it on them, they didn't eat, well, take it off. Some of them go
The bells we put on the mules at night, because that way you could tell if the mules was going up the canal or down the canal. And when they walked, the bells would ring.
They would travel about 20 miles a day, and they would travel at the speed of about 3 miles per hour. It would be a team of 2 mules, and they would walk right out there on the path that we know as the towpath.
Come on down this way. Let's take a look. Great. A lock is called a lock because it physically locks in the water. And can you see the gates under the pedestrian bridge? They go like that. Our lock tender would close those gates first. Once the chamber was locked, our lock tender would start filling in the chamber with water. And when water in the chamber was as high as the water on the other side of the gate, the lock tender would drop that gate and the barge could be pulled over into the chamber because the water was the same level. Our barge was in the locked chamber, and our lock tender very slowly would start draining the water in the chamber to bring the water level down to match the water level on the other side of the gates. our lock tender would open up those gates and the barge would continue on its way.
We're the very last towpath canal left in the entire United States, so it's really a very special place.
The National Canal Museum is located in Hugh Park in Easton. It's a great spot for family to come with kids and learn about the canals like the Delaware and Lehigh Canals, how they used to function, as well as a little bit about the railroads that helped in the Industrial Revolution. We have two mules, Hank and George, that pull a canal boat so you can actually experience what it was like on the canal back in the day. There are kayaks and different boats as well as bike rentals to enjoy the trail there as well.
It's very beautiful and peaceful. It's just a very nice area to come and take a walk and to just relax and kind of get your thoughts together.
We're really excited to be celebrating the award this year for Pennsylvania Trail of the Year for the Delaware Canal State Park Towpath. I encourage everybody to come out and partake of it.